30th, 2024. Do I have a motion to open?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. This meeting is being audio and video recorded. All right, so we're going to get into right into the budgets that weren't voted last week. The Board of Selectmen has had a chance to review the budgets that we are going to vote on tonight. And we're going to get right into it. If there's any questions or if Mr. Kelly wants to add anything as we're going through, he can feel free to chime in. So let's get started with the first one that we have in front of us, which is Select Board. It looks like there's a 1.3% increase. So
1.73?
let me put my cheaters on.
1.3
Let's
total.
see much better now.
Yeah.
1.7 in salary.
1.3 total.
Okay.
So it went from 271, 233 last year to 274, 868 this year. So that's just that's a nominal increase.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next budget are town buildings and properties. This budget actually decreased by 13% from 259.09 to 223.368. So it looks, Jamie, where's the big decrease from?
We are, because of the financial stress, we are removing the foreman's position.
Okay.
I mean, that's the major item.
Do we have a foreman?
We did.
No,
It was there, but it wasn't filled. Okay.
Yeah.
no,
Custodial,
we knew what we were facing.
Okay.
plus custodial services, right?
We transferred 15,000 from custodial services to do it in-house.
I make a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, passes. I can't answer that.
It's the bank.
That's probably a credit union. All right, the next one is employee benefits and insurance. So this is up 6.7%. This is not a surprise. But
The health insurance is up 9.7. We moved everything around as much as we could. Liability insurance increased,
Hugely.
but we trimmed everything everywhere. And so we kept it to a 6.79 increase total.
How much you can do with it? I'll make a motion.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next one is pensions. So this is one that we just have to approve. Not much control over this.
Make a motion.
This has gone up 6.3%.
That's primarily the Bristol County Retirement Board's assessment. I just note that we might change the Medicare number during town meeting because that is formulaic based on the total payroll. So once we see everything, then we'll be able to make sure that we're, but it won't be, it'll be like 1,000, won't be tens of thousands.
We had a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next one is town accountant. This looks like it's down by about $5,000. Last year it was at $237,819. This year it is $232,771.
We made the assistant accountant part-time, And we're still trying to recruit an accountant.
Make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Board of Assessors has gone up 2.75%.
It's
So-
primarily negotiated raises.
Contractual increases.
Yep.
And a license fee.
Yeah, so it went from 182,629 to 187,645. Not a big increase.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next one's treasurer collector. This is up 4.6%. Last year was 260.37. This year it's 271.821.
If you remember last year, we didn't have a treasurer collector. And we also have some contractual raises there.
And a big increase in postage.
And both the treasurer collector and the assistant treasurer collector have a certification which is statutory. Every time they go up this one of 6 blocks, it's 1,300.
Mr.
But-
Kelly, the increase in travel, is that for training or classes that they have to do for certification?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's in state.
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next one is technology. So this is up 8.3%. Last year was 217,925. This year it is up to 236,25.
One of the big issues here is the email hosting service. That went from 4,600 to 14,250. That's because
It's all cloud-based now.
our email host
Yep.
is
This-
no longer hosting.
Right, and this gives you access to the office licenses and everything else on
Mhm.
top of that, so.
Yeah, so that's where the biggest increase is in this budget, and then the other stuff looks like it's contractual, with salaries.
I make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Town clerk, looks like it's up 4.2%.
Part of that is we transferred postage both to the town clerk's office and to the, one of the, I've got to look to see if it's I think it's registrars, but it might be, yeah, it's registrars. And the reason for that is every year since I've been here, we come to the reserve and look for postage money. When it comes out of the town clerk and the registrar's functions, so I decided to put it in there so for transparency and tracking purposes.
Wasn't she looking for an increase in her budget for that, for the postage?
Well, we're looking for an increase everywhere for postage.
No, I
It's
know
going
that,
up
so
in-
this is on top of that?
No, this is, we transferred the money,
Mm-hmm.
so now she has her own postage account.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so this is it's a, pretty small increase. It went from
And this one,
151,309 last year to 157,783 this year.
And as she noted to you, some of the increases for staff is contractual, and then she included a raise for herself, and she hasn't had a raise in 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very
Motion.
modest.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, next budget is elections. We know this, the reason why this has gone up this year is because there's more elections, the
Yep.
presidential election this year. So that's the main reason for the increase. It went from 18,764 to 35,343.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
When you look at that in the next budget, and you look at general government, half of the increases, over half in general government, are the increases between town meeting and elections and board of registrars.
Mhm.
It's 33,000 and change.
Yeah, so the next budget is Board of Registrars. So again, this is increasing,
Postage.
sizably because of the extra election and postage. So it went from 24,979 to 42,225.
17 of which is postage.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
let's hope everybody fills out their mail-in ballots properly.
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next one, Conservation Commission. Okay, this has gone from 61,152 to 84,250. And it looks like the biggest increase is in salaries clerical.
Yeah, what we did is, at one point, Conservation split the clerical person with Board of Health, where there was 1.5 clerical in Board of Health and a half in Conservation, especially the fact that we don't have a conservation agent right now, and just how the offices are now running over there. We figured it was better to have one full-time in Conservation and one full-time in Board of Health.
So even though there's an increase here, there'll be a decrease somewhere else.
Correct.
So it kind of balances, it's going to be a wash. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next one, planning. Planning is basically level funded. It went from 90,758 to 90,650.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, next one, police department. So, it looks like we got a couple different columns here, James.
The last column is the one that I'm recommending.
The last
and
one in the blue?
Selectmen approved.
2,795,000, that one?
Correct.
So the budget, the police budget last year was 2,713,074. This year it's going up to 2,795,170. So it's a much smaller increase than previous years, but this is basically out of necessity
Mhm.
because of what we're facing. The big difference in this is not having 2 of the police cruisers in this budget, correct?
And an increase in overtime.
The,
25 grand for overtime.
we looked at salary costs, we looked at overtime costs, and we looked at vehicle costs.
Sad we gotta do it. I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, next budget, fire and EMS. So it looks like it's gone from 1,110,986 to 1,161,509 for a 4% increase.
30% of that, 30,000 of that, I'm sorry, is
Overtime.
the overtime where we, rather than constantly come at the end of the year for a transfer. Originally, we wanted to go all the way up to where we thought it should be, but we don't have the money, so we split it in half.
Where do we stand with the new rescue and the,
You're gonna be seeing a reserve transfer next week for a new engine and the second ambulance. We're 2 years out from getting the actual new one.
what's that gonna be? Any idea?
17 grand.
Okay.
But you can't.
We got any money in the EMS receipts to cover any of that, or no? That,
Well, we take it out of the reserve right now, and we're still within, we still have 59,000 left in the reserve.
yeah.
Did we make a motion on this?
No.
No.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
So a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Mr. Kelly, quick question. Where do we stand on the call boxes? Is that all set?
The
Replacements that needed to get done? Because we can't have the parts anymore?
the repeaters and the 2 alarm are in, they're the only thing I'm budgeting for capital cost out of free cash.
Okay. I just want to make sure that that hadn't got shelved because
No.
of financial woes.
No, that's critical.
Yeah. Thank you.
Just so the folks out there watching realize, I know it looks like we're zipping through a lot of these budgets, but we've already done a lot of the homework prior to today to get to this point where we've had the departments come before us, present their budget. We've analyzed things. The town administrator has looked at these things, the Board of Selectmen. It's been a collaborative effort to pare things down to the point where they are now. And this is why we're able to get through these budgets the way we're going through them right now. Just to provide some clarification, so the folks out there know that we've done our due diligence in going through these budgets. So the next budget is emergency management. It's gone from 16,400 to 17,900, so just
All energy.
yeah, it's all related to energy cost, and we're seeing, that's a common trend in a lot of these budgets.
Make a motion to accept.
Abstain.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I think Kathy, we have one abstention. Next budget, inspectional services, has gone from 144, 237 to 156, 782.
Part of it is contractual, and the other part is we went from 30 hours to 35 for the clerical. That way we man the offices, especially in an inspectional services office. If someone's out in the field doing inspections, you need someone in the office. And with the way we're starting to design the development offices, conservation planning, building, Board of Health, that you want to make sure you get coverage for when people come in and they need to file their applications, they need to get copies of plans, that type of thing. You've got someone there to serve the
So
public.
everything will kind of work cohesively together.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next budget, animal control. So this has gone from, in 2024, from $57,008 to $59,496. And looks like it's mostly contractual. Yeah.
A question, they got a line in here for telephone, doesn't she have the town system now?
Yeah, but this is a hard line for weekends, that type of thing.
Oh, okay.
Goes right to the house.
All right. Oh, okay, I didn't realize that. All right, I make the motion.
Second.
All right, we got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next one is DPW Highway Department, and this in 2024, their budget was $1,006,213, and it has gone up to $1,016,076. So it's an increase of about $10,000.
Energy and contractual.
You got that right, yep.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next one, street lighting. Street lighting is up $5,000 from $25,000 to $30,000.
Energy.
Yep, it's related to energy. Good old energy costs.
Motion.
Second.
All in
Most
favor?
of the energy started out at above 80% increase, and we've got it down when we negotiated it down to approximately 30%.
We had a motion and a second.
Yeah, I think we had enough.
We didn't vote on it yet.
You didn't vote on it.
We did?
No.
Oh, okay, sorry. All right, so we had a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Well, hopefully next year the energy costs will
Stabilize.
go down or stabilize if we
Yeah.
become energy independent again. So we can hope and pray. Next budget is Board of Health. So in 2024, their budget was 202,964, and it looks like it's gone down to 158,714.
That's a shift in staff.
Right.
That's a no-brainer. I'll make a motion.
Second it.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next one, Council on Aging. Their budget in 2024 was 131,862, and it's gone up to 136,678. So just a small increase. Looks like contractual increase and energy.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next budget, library. So in 2024, their total budget was $299,769, and the request for FY25 is up to $309,800.
It's within the Mars
Oh, scratch that.
parameters.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a big increase.
No.
Make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Water, sewer, and golf, the board is taking up next Tuesday.
Okay, so we're gonna hold off on those enterprise funds. And
Just so, and this is back to the envelope figures. General government, including the increases for elections, is just over $60,000, the increase. Public safety, after the various cuts, is just over 150,000 increase. Public Works is around 85,000 increase. Human Services is a decrease of almost 40,000. Culture and Rec is an increase of approximately 13,000. Debt is gone down. I'll have final figures next week where we break it out for principal and interest, but it's down approximately 60,000 because as your debt goes down, your interest goes down too.
Amy, can you give us that breakdown again? Just start from the beginning.
I'll
You have?
send it to you.
All right, yeah, because I like that. That kind of puts things in perspective.
Well, I'm jumping around a little bit. Regional, $55 increase. The non-departmental joint accounts is 280,000 increase, but you have to remember that and health insurance, about 60% of the health insurance we're insuring the school side. Retirement, about 20% is school side. So that 282 really should be between school and town, if you wanted to break it out. And we're looking at somewhere around between Old Colony and Acushnet schools, if 800 to 900,000 increase. And right now, my revenue increases are about 830,000. So we've got
More work.
about 500,000 of red ink we've got to change. So there might be some layoffs, or there might be some full-time positions that go to half-time. There might be some of my favorite rabbits in the hat. If I can figure alternate ways to do something.
I mean, this.
That can only go on for so long.
The town side is pared down as, I think, as thin as it can go at this point. I mean, look
Unless
at
you start shutting them down.
Look at the
days.
small increase in the police department.
No cruiser.
We're gonna need help from the school. That's just the
It's-
bottom line. They're
It's
gonna have to.
probably 250 increase when you average everything out. And I don't know that exactly, but it's probably that for the town side. And as I said, the two schools are between 800 and 900,000 increase.
So it accounts for roughly 80% of our increase of the schools. Just keep that in mind, town.
Well,
Can only
it's
cut
just-
so much out of the town, and we're there.
I'm looking,
The town is, the town side, they're, paring down positions, not adding positions. So, when you add a lot of positions over a number of years, the budget gets out of control. And we've had this discussion already, so.
Year after year.
your stabilization is right about the 10% of operating budget where it's supposed to be. If you start to move less than that, you're in danger of affecting your bond rating.
Yep, we're not
Right.
doing that,
Yeah, we don't want that.
because that's
And
just,
we've,
that snowballs their issues.
We're doing fairly well with the OPEB. We've put it into a different investment strategy, and looks like we'll probably be about $1.2 million this year. So when we were with the state-run OPEB, we actually lost money.
But OPEB in general in the state is still a,
No, this was their investment manager.
uh,
So we got out of that state-run program.
no, because we'll look at the deficit they're running in the state, it was like $16 million.
Yeah, well, they were not making any real income, investment profit for us, and they were feeing us to death. So we got out of them, we were in another group, and we're doing fairly well.
Mr. Kelly, I'm just curious, how do we look as far as funding? I know over the past several years, different departments, different accounts have set up their own reserve or stabilization accounts. Are we still funding those?
We have a stabilization account in case health insurance goes way south.
Okay.
We've got,
I thought we had didn't we establish that?
Yes.
for you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go through those.
Last year.
Yeah.
So we have in the health insurance about 207,000. And that's our reserve right there. For buybacks, when we get, if you get a bunch of major retirements, you get 52,000.
Is there a targeted number that we were trying to get in these accounts, like the town stabilization, 10%?
Well, the general stabilization, you have to keep it around 10%.
Sure.
The health insurance stabilization, I'd like to see around 300,000.
All right, we'll hold a little bit, yeah.
The buyback one at somewhere between 50 and 75, so you've got a MS4 one of 50 for engineering costs if we need it in a stabilization account, because I know when I was in Millbury, we ended up getting hit with one bill from the EPA mandate of 400,000.
Take a bond for that.
So we're making sure we keep current on our MS4 too. And we also have an infrastructure account that'll definitely be used for our Slocum Street project. How much, I don't know yet. Now, with the Slocum Street project, we have the ARPA money. We're meeting tomorrow with the legislative delegation about our transportation bond money, which is 1.5 million. And then we are having various articles that we'll see in the warrant to pay for various parts of it. That is going to be somewhat like the ambulance. We are justifying that, but we might rescind it because Bristol County has a different system than most of the state on the ARPA money. We get half our ARPA money from the state and half goes through Bristol County.
Okay.
Now, when, at the end of June, any ARPA money that is not assigned or that a town hasn't used and encumbered and have a shovel-ready project, the Bristol County will take that money from all those other communities and give it to a community who has a shovel-ready project. We've already applied for that money.
That money.
Now, last year you mentioned about the insurance increases, but you had expected that to kind of taper off after a few years.
Yeah.
Given our financial situation right now, can we use some of that stabilization for the insurance to fund the insurance for this year?
You don't want to do that
Okay, why not?
because you want to hold that for, if you're going to need to transfer it to our reserve in the Mass Strategic Health Group, because each community has their own reserve in that. We haven't been in there long enough to benefit from all the rebates of the pharmaceuticals. Once we start to get that flow and our reserve stays at a certain level, then everything will stabilize.
Okay.
But I'd say in the fall, if we have free cash to 75 or 100,000, put it in the Mass Strategic Health Group reserve. That'll take care of us, and we'll just keep bringing that. We've brought, just by contributing each year, we've brought what would be a normal rate
Mm-hmm.
for new people joining the group. We've brought each year it down about 3 to 4%.
Okay.
There's a little method to my madness.
Yeah, no, I just,
It's a little madness.
yeah, I was just wondering if you could just use that as like one of your rabbits in the hat.
Well, you want to hold that back. That's really for when, if you had a couple super catastrophic cases in town,
Yep.
you want to have that there to kind of mellow out the whole loss ratio.
Makes sense.
One last question I have, just wondering, has the select board discussed or approached the assessors on overlay surplus?
Yes, today we voted to request that they release, and I'll get the exact figure on one of my papers. $676,954.
And
And we're,
even with that, that puts us where?
well, that'd still be at like 1.1, 1.1 and a half million. And that would, we're looking to all of the collective bargaining agreements, retro payments, which would be just north of 500,000.
That's right.
And then we're looking at paying some debt with the remainder.
Is that the old colony? Yeah.
Yep.
Now, is that including like the steel worker? So did that get ratified?
None of them are ratified yet,
Okay.
but I've got to assume that they will
Have you
be.
planned for that in these salary increases for those department heads? So that is that's baked in.
It's budgeted. If it doesn't get ratified,
Then they come
then,
back.
yeah. It's also, not only has to be ratified by the union, and then the final MOA voted by the Board of Selectmen, then it has to be funded by town meeting.
Okay, the articles. So, how many more articles do we have to, I think, there was, you guys voted on some articles last week,
We
right?
voted on most.
Mostly all.
Yeah, the stormwater bylaw we received at 3 o'clock today from the planning board, the recommendation on the stormwater bylaw where they approved the one that was submitted. I've got to read it over to make sure it's the same.
It's the third time this has changed.
Right?
It's the third time this has changed.
But it's only one sentence I'm concerned about.
Yeah.
So in this updated version, Jamie, we're not.
That doesn't have it.
So we're not taking anything up in
No,
this tonight?
I'd advise you wait
Okay.
until next.
Okay.
But I wanted everybody to see it and see where we're going.
So we can take a look at this before we meet next week.
Yep. Because, I mean, I'm looking at having to send the warrant to printer by sometime, probably the 16th of May, the 15th of May, somewhere in there. But it all depends on what happens tomorrow, because otherwise then we might end up having to cut some positions in half.
Do we have any update with our collaboration discussions with Fairhaven?
I'm going to, I think it's Thursday, their representatives are coming in to talk to us. Again, we're going back and forth. Down the road, they want to enter into a discussion about increasing the size of their sewer system. And they're looking to see if we're interested in the south side of the town.
Yeah, that would be the state though, wouldn't it?
No. It's
Because it's-
Fairhaven has their own sewer treatment plant.
No, I know, but if we tie in, that would have to get the state involved because we're going through South Main, right?
It doesn't have to. There's a number of ways you can.
There's not too many
Oh, come
streets.
on.
It's not too many streets that connect to Fairhaven.
No, but you don't even need a street.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
But there, we're also looking at, besides golf course, beach, shellfish,
Shellfish, yeah.
we're looking at maybe sharing one or two positions,
Makes sense.
like we're doing in Mattapoisett. Now that the selectmen and the finance committee have approved the planning budget, I am going to be sending that notice with the money's amount. In the planning budget, as you saw, there's a salary amount for a planner, but there's also 10,000 for benefits, because we have to shift the possibility, and we'd have to pay them for their health insurance because it's their employee.
Yep.
So we agreed to half the benefits. But we also are meeting with the Serpent folks on getting going on the whole update with the master plan. We have 2 funding sources for that. And then we, both of them, the earmark, 2 earmarks, one on water and clean water, and then the other on just the master plan itself that came out of the legislature, and then short money that we've got in an article. And then just on Slocum Street, in the House version of the budget, Representative Schmidt and Representative Strauss put $150,000 in for sidewalks and ADA compliant ramps on Slocum Street.
Now, is the person Mattapoisett gonna do our master plan, or?
What?
Is the planner that we're gonna end up sharing, is he gonna take, or she gonna take care of the
That
master
would
plan
be,
for us?
that would be just to oversee Serpent's efforts, because it's, doing a master plan is not just walking in and writing the plan.
Mhm.
You've got to hold public meetings, you've got to ascertain all
We've
sorts
had the
of,
briefings over the years about
Yeah.
the involvement of it.
and all the surveys, and
There's committees, there's
Yep, and
subcommittees, there's
there's a open space, recreation, clean water, growth, economic development, zoning, just if your zoning is right.
Mhm.
So it's not something that one individual can do part-time.
There's a reason it's a 10-year plan, because it takes that long.
But you've got over $150,000 with all these earmarks and everything. And Serpent owes me $30,000 in free labor. So we can start the ball rolling substantially with that.
Mm.
And they're the professional planners. So they know what they're doing. They've done, in the last 3 years, I know 4 master plan updates they've all successfully completed in 2.5, 3 years.
Okay, so we have no more budgets we're gonna go through tonight. We're not gonna do any articles, so we're gonna take up the rest of these next Wednesday.
And you've got a couple transfers coming
There'll
in.
be some transfers next week too.
There's one on, for the, from the treasurer collector's office for, we just got a bill from Bristol County Retirement for the 3 police officers that were overseas in the military. Bristol County Retirement is finally caught up with what we owe Bristol County Retirement, because you have to make them whole while they're overseas. So we finally get the bill for that. And then there's the fire engine and the ambulance, both of which need work. And if you want the chief here, he can explain it a lot better than I can. But that's 18,000 and 17,000.
Hmm.
Selectmen approves them tonight.
And that'll bring our reserve down to.
About 59, I
All
think,
right. Okay.
and change.
Update on town meeting date.
June 17th. The board will decide next week.
Okay.
Bunker Hill Day. Fire if you see the whites of their eyes. We're pretty much on hold until after tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, does anybody have any old business to discuss? New business? No new business? Okay, our next meeting date is not gonna be this Thursday. We're gonna wait until next Wednesday, which is, let's see what the date is on that.
8?
May. Is that what it is? Yes,
Yeah.
May 8th. So we'll take up, Kathy, you can add those minutes to the agenda for that next meeting.
Okay.
We'll take those up next meeting.
Just if I can use the public television, the annual open enrollment for our health insurance starts tomorrow and goes through May 24th. And so if anybody needs health insurance, unless there's a catastrophic event in your life, you've got to change your health insurance or sign up if you haven't between those dates or you're not eligible to.
That's for employees, not for
Yep.
residents.
Yep.
That's why you put the health
I
insurance.
just sitting there like I can just see it now, the phone calls, as soon as I come in, I can sign up for insurance.
I wanna get on the group discount.
Yeah, so that's their window of opportunity.
Although we have to actually watch this in order.
Yeah, that's true.
And May 1's tomorrow, so we'll be looking at the accounts all the way across town. And if we need to do any departmental transfers, stuff like that, we'll be looking at that.
Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.